Walk through almost any night market, e-commerce app, or shopping mall in Southeast Asia today and counterfeit and imitation goods. Fake sneakers, knockoff electronics, replica luxury bags, unauthorized toys, and copycat cosmetics are never far away. China is by far the world's largest source of these goods. Industry estimates cited by trademark watchdogs put China's share of global counterfeit production at over 80%. Southeast Asia, sitting geographically next door to China and economically intertwined with it through trade agreements, manufacturing supply chains, and a fast-growing e-commerce sector, has increasingly absorbed this flow. This report examines, chapter by chapter, the structural, economic, technological, and geopolitical reasons why the region has become such fertile ground for imitation Chinese products, and what is now being done about it. Southeast Asia's basic geography makes it a natural first destination for Chinese goods, legitimate or otherwise. The region shares land borders and short sea routes with China, and is bound to it through the ASEAN-China Free Trade Area and the broader Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, RCEP, which lower tariffs and simplify customs processes between China and its 10 Southeast Asian neighbors. This proximity and integration were designed to boost legitimate trade, but they also shrink the distance, literally and administratively, that counterfeit goods must travel, and reduce the friction customs authorities can use to intercept them. Southeast Asia is home to hundreds of millions of increasingly connected, but still price-sensitive consumers. Household incomes across much of Indonesia, Vietnam, the Philippines, and other markets remain modest relative to the West, creating strong demand for cheaper alternatives to branded products. Imitation goods, from fake sportswear to knockoff electronics, offer the appearance of aspirational brands at a fraction of the price, making them commercially attractive to sellers and appealing to buyers. This dynamic has existed for decades in physical markets, but it has been supercharged by a generation of consumers now shopping primarily through mobile apps and live streams, where price comparison is instant and impulse buying is easy. The single biggest accelerant in recent years has been the explosive growth of Chinese-linked e-commerce platforms operating across the region. Shopee holds roughly 48% of Southeast Asia's e-commerce market, followed by TikTok Shop at around 28.4%, alongside Lazada and newer entrants like Temu. These platforms allow Chinese factories and sellers to list and ship products directly to consumers in small parcels that slip past traditional customs screening, bypassing the large container inspections that once made bulk counterfeit shipments easier to catch. Platforms have commercial incentives that can work against aggressive enforcement. They earn revenue on every transaction, whether the goods are genuine or counterfeit, and face only modest penalties in many Southeast Asian jurisdictions compared with fines and legal liability in developed markets. In Vietnam, authorities have specifically flagged how live stream selling on platforms like Shopee and TikTok can move thousands of orders of fake goods within hours, a scale and speed no physical street vendor could match. TikTok Shop has responded publicly, reporting that over a one-year period it deactivated more than 4,800 seller accounts and blocked 5 million product listings globally, and Shopee has launched its own brand protection program and signed cooperation agreements with authorities such as Thailand's Department of Intellectual Property. Southeast Asia's 10 countries each have their own intellectual property laws, courts, and enforcement priorities, and there is no single regional authority equivalent to the EU's coordinated customs and IP enforcement bodies. Small and medium enterprises, which make up a large share of the region's retail economy, often lack the resources or technical means, such as authentication systems and brand protection technology, to defend themselves against counterfeit competition, leaving them commercially exposed. Even where laws exist on paper, penalties for selling counterfeit goods are frequently minor fines rather than serious deterrents, meaning the financial upside for sellers of imitation goods usually outweighs the risk of getting caught. Cross-border online sales compound the problem, since a counterfeit product might be manufactured in China, sold through a platform headquartered in Singapore, and shipped to a buyer in the Philippines. with no single national authority holding full jurisdiction over the transaction. A parallel and increasingly important driver has been the US-China trade war, which escalated further with President Trump's 2025 tariff measures. Facing steep US tariffs on goods made in China, some Chinese manufacturers and exporters have rerouted products through Southeast Asian countries, a practice known as transshipment, relabeling or lightly processing goods in Vietnam, Thailand, Malaysia, or Cambodia before re-exporting them to the US as if locally made, in order to sidestep tariffs meant for China. Vietnam, in particular, has been singled out. In 2024, it imported $144 billion worth of goods from China, while exporting $136 billion worth of goods to the US, a pattern of matching trade flows that US officials have cited as strong evidence of large-scale rerouting. The Trump administration responded with a 40% penalty tariff, specifically targeting transshipped goods passing through Vietnam. While transshipment for tariff evasion is technically distinct from counterfeit or imitation goods dumping, the two phenomena are related and often overlap in practice. Both exploit the same weak points: light-touch customs verification, complex regional supply chains, and pressure on Southeast Asian governments to keep trade flowing for their own export-dependent economies. The huge volume of legitimate but rerouted Chinese goods moving through the region has also made it easier for genuinely counterfeit shipments to blend in and avoid scrutiny. Southeast Asian governments have increasingly begun to push back against the flood of both counterfeit and ultra-cheap Chinese imports, motivated as much by protecting domestic manufacturers as by intellectual property concerns. Indonesia, the region's largest e-commerce market, banned Chinese discount platform Temu outright in 2024, asking Google and Apple to block it from local app stores in order to shield local merchants from a flood of cheap foreign goods. Vietnam's government subsequently issued its own warnings to consumers about unregistered platforms. Vietnamese authorities have also carried out high-profile raids on what local media described as counterfeit goods headquarters, operating through Shopee, tracing money flows and advertising networks behind fake goods sellers. Thailand's Department of Intellectual Property signed a formal information-sharing agreement with Shopee Thailand and the Central Investigation Bureau in 2026 to strengthen joint enforcement against counterfeit and pirated goods. Malaysia, for its part, centralized its issuance of certificates of origin in 2025 as part of broader efforts to tighten customs oversight amid U.S. pressure over transshipment. Southeast Asia's emergence as a major destination, and in the case of transshipped goods, a way station, for imitation and counterfeit Chinese products is the product of several reinforcing forces. Geographic and trade proximity to the world's largest counterfeit producer, price-sensitive consumer markets hungry for affordable goods, an e-commerce boom led by platforms with limited enforcement incentives, fragmented and under-resourced intellectual property regimes, and a US-China tariff war that has made rerouting goods through the region commercially attractive. Governments across the region have begun responding more assertively, banning platforms, raiding online sellers, and signing enforcement agreements with e-commerce companies. But enforcement remains uneven and counterfeit goods continue to circulate widely. As U.S. trade pressure and regional protectionism both intensify, Southeast Asia faces a genuine balancing act. Protecting its own manufacturers and consumers from a flood of imitation goods, while preserving the deep economic ties with China that have powered much of its growth. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe for more content like this. Don't forget to like and share. See you in the next one.